Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tesh. Here, I teach you how to connect with your higher self, God, and nature by clearing blocks, negative energy, and doing magic to manifest the life that you want. So let's get it. Hey, baby loves. So today I want to talk about how to conjure with the moon. Now, as most of you guys know, the moon is probably the most popular planet to conjure with because that's the one that everybody can really keep track of. It's easy to keep track of it. It's very simple to conjure with, or so you think. The moon actually comes with a set of rules of itself when you're doing magic with it. First and foremost is a symbol for the moon. I think most of us grew up seeing that. But do you also know that water is a symbol of the moon? Oils are a symbol of the moon. Incense are a symbol of the moon. Sandals that you wear in your feet are symbols of the moon. So those are all things that give you the impression of leisure and relaxation and chill. And the moon kind of gives you that vibe that you can be lazy with it and just kind of let things go to the wayside. Whereas that's not really the case. The moon actually moves fast. The moon is a quick manifester. That's why people use the moon. It's not because of the leisure that you feel with it. Of course, when the moon is shining, most of us are sleeping. But when you're conjuring, you're up at night using that moon's energy to ride so that you can manifest whatever you want. Now, with the moon rules your subconscious mind. The moon rules your emotions. The moon rules negative thoughts, dark thoughts, negative images, and living negative experiences. So the moon is all about the illusions and the delusions and fear and all of that type of stuff. It's weird to see that people will actually take the moon and use that to conjure good things, but a lot of times when you're conjuring, you need to be careful to make sure that the moon is not in a planet that it's debilitated in, or that brings in negative energy or deals with a lot of the dark side, like Scorpio, like Aquarius, only because you don't know what's going to come through that portal. The moon deals with cycles. The moon deals with portals. The moon card, the number 9 alone represents the moon. I know in the tarot, the moon card is the number 18, but if you add that up, it becomes number 9. So all of the 9s in the tarot are ruled by the moon. The archangel that works with the moon is Archangel Gabriel. So whenever you're petitioning the moon and you're using the moon's energy, you're actually petitioning Archangel Gabriel to assist you with that spell. The angels that work with the moon are called the blessing ones. So they will be the ones that's blessing you with whatever it is that you're trying to be blessed with. Now, when you're conjuring with the moon, because the moon travels between signs every 2 to 2.5 days, you need to move quickly. And also you need to make sure that you're not conjuring on the days that the moon is transitioning from one sign to the next. So that kind of gives you even a shorter amount of time that you can conjure with the moon. So a lot of times if you're trying to do moon magic and your spell is not working, the reason why is because the moon is not just comfortably in between those planets. If it's on the cusp, if the moon is on any cusp, you don't need to be doing the spell on that day, because the spell is not going to have the full energy of whatever planet the moon is in order to do that work. So when it's transitioning, your spell will truly just get lost in translation. It's a lot happening in the sky at that time. It's a lot of energy that's being thrown away. It's a lot of new energy that's being carried over, and you don't want to get lost in that shuffle. That's why I always tell my students, don't do any conjuring on the night of the full moon unless it's something to release. That's it, and that's all. Do not ask for anything during the full moon. None of that. The reason being is because you don't know what you're going to get. Most people are dispersing lots of energy during this time. So you don't want your goodness that you want coming towards you coming through that mess. You don't want it to get attached to anybody else's. And if you're doing dark work, understand that your energy during that full moon is going to be harvested by a better witch or by some higher power, and it's going to be used to do other work. It won't even really get fully into the work that you're trying to do. The reason being is because that's when dark work is prevailing. I tell my people, always do your work before the full moon. If you're going to conjure anything, use that new moon energy. That's the energy you want to use. And you also need to pay attention to the new moon during that cycle as well. Because right now, January 21st, 2023, we are having a dark new moon. So you will think that even with the new moon, you can manifest. You can, but you have to know how to ride the wave on the right time. You're manifesting during a dark moon. What are you getting? Darkness. It's nothing. It's no light. It's no energy from the sun to grip on. The moon does not bring anything but darkness. The energy that it controls is the waters, it's the emotions, it's the subconscious mind. Okay, that's the energy that you're using. So when you're trying to really grow something, let's say you have a business, the only way you're going to use the moon is when the moon has sun on it. So if you're going to conjure with the moon, you should conjure positive things with the moon when the moon has the most sun on it, not when the moon has the least sun on it. So you might want to use the moon during the daytime. I know that sounds weird, but the moon doesn't necessarily go anywhere. It's not leaving the sky. You're just harvesting the energy during the day because that's when the sun is fully hitting it. And then you can capture that energy because dark don't like light. But that's if you're a light worker and you're working with light. You see what I'm saying? If you want to work with the dark, then harvest all night if you want to. But I'm not necessarily teaching that. So I can't really tell you how to work those late night shifts. Sometimes if I'm doing a late night shift, it's for me because I'm working with Jupiter. That's it and that's all. I don't have no business up at night unless I'm praying and talking to God and having that one-on-one time. That's it. The color for the moon is violet, that deep purple, very beautiful. So if you wanted to ever conjure anything, you can go get a dark, deep purple candle. You can get a black candle. So whenever you're doing anything with the moon, make sure you're using the number 9. Make sure you're using the symbols of the moon. Make sure you're petitioning Archangel Gabriel and the blessing ones. Those are the ones you want to use. And that's all I can say. I'm not really I conjure with the moon, but then I try to use the sun when I'm using the moon. For me, that's the type of energy that I like to harvest. I like growth and abundance, and I'm still a woman, so I'm still going to live in that moon energy. So that's pretty much it, my loves. I just wanted to really get into what you can do with the moon, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
At this point, I invite you to join my mystery school, where I have created a safe place for you to learn magic and how to make your own metaphysical products. You get weekly life lessons where I teach love, money, banishing, and protection spells. You get a weekly tarot class. I do monthly prosperity spells for my top tier. And you get exclusive early access and commercial-free content. Join today at patreon.com/Insight by Tesh.